Oh, I don't know if you guys are ready for today's story time. It's gonna be hot, it's gonna be juicy, it's gonna be weight. Ask for it. But do you really want
on the beat?
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today's gonna be a story time on my, I guess, very first experience with a girl, how it felt, what happened, what didn't happen. To be honest, I have probably two first experiences. The first will always be your first, right? But the real first is actually when I was with somebody who was actually like my real first girlfriend. So the experience, I kind of had like two separate experiences for my first, and I'm going to be sharing that with you guys today. Okay, let's get into it. The feeling of being with girls is something that I have always had, especially when you get to an age where you start to realize or notice other girls sexually. You start noticing things like breasts and boobs and legs and cute facial features. That, I want to say, started pretty much boarding school for me. I got the opportunity to go to Command Secondary School. I did JS1 there. I think that's like approximately like the 6th grade or the 5th grade or something like that. We came to the States and then I was shipped back because I was being so bad. I ended up doing SS1, SS2, and SS3. So we were there for 3 years in a boarding school in Delta State, Saplet. Secondary school. The good thing about a boarding school is it's fun because you're by yourself. You kind of make decisions on your own. You're like a little person making like everyday decisions, like when to shower. Those things are actually scheduled, but there are times that you can do extra for yourself if you want. The bad thing for me was that I was surrounded by girls all the time, and it was so crazy. Girls just got undressed real easy, real quickly, no problem. Like, in time to shower, everybody just took their clothes off. And I grew up in a time or in a place where you kind of hid yourself a little bit. I think that's when I just got to notice a lot. Sorry, girls. I want to say, I don't want anybody out there to think that I was just out there gawking, but you just notice different things. It was a challenge for me a little bit to not gawk, but I made sure that I didn't make anybody feel uncomfortable. But for me, I was experiencing something different. I didn't know if it was okay to say, oh, your boobs look nice, or your legs look nice, or you couldn't really say that. You just saw it, and then I would join in if somebody else said some girl had a pretty boob. Like somebody said, oh my God, Lisa has nice breasts. I'm like, doesn't she? So since we're out there in boarding school, everybody kind of grew up kind of forming different relationships. Everybody's just sort of kind of paired up. Everybody sort of kind of had what you probably got. What I think was just a light bae. You weren't really in a relationship with that person, but everybody had like a best friend or person they hung out with, and then it just got to a place where you didn't see this person without this other person. So that's kind of how it started. Okay, so I had a friend, and I won't be putting out any names out there. She was super cool. I can't even remember how we became close, but we just started hanging out all the time. She was just super nice to me. I don't know why. It could be part of the culture. There were things she did for me that I couldn't believe that she would do. Like, I know this is about to be like really gross, but like there was a time I got super sick, and I actually had malaria and typhoid at the same time. Like, I thought I was in the middle of death, right? Because I was so weak, so tired, I couldn't even wipe my own butt. That's how weak I was. I mean, I couldn't get up to go places. You had to literally pick me up and lift me and go places and stuff like that. And my period had come on. People literally had to wear things for me and do things for me, and she was one of the people that did that. She would put things on for me, and when it came time, she actually like washed my dirty stuff, and I was just so amazed. She was so nice to me. Like, she took care of me like she had known me for such a long time, and we had just met. And then with time, we used to do this thing where at night she would come over to my bed and we'd sleep in the same bed together. There's some nights she wouldn't even sleep until I'm ready to go to bed. So it almost, to be honest, for me, I think it almost felt like a relationship without sex. She would clean up, she would fold, she did all this stuff just out of being really nice, I believe. And I think just naturally, us spending so much time together, we just got to a space where it just made sense, I guess. I don't know if I was catching feelings, but I knew that I wanted to take our relationship to the next level. And I didn't know how she was going to feel about that. I was just going to ask her. And I was like, no, I'm not going to ask her because she's such a genuinely nice person. And I didn't want to corrupt her mind. It's like when you're being nice to somebody and then they try to kiss you. You're like, whoa, dude, I'm just being nice. But it's not like that. See, that's what I didn't want to happen. And two, even though it wasn't illegal to be gay out there, I just didn't know what would happen if I said something and if she would take the information to somebody else. To be honest, I didn't even know that I would even like any of the things I was going to do. I just wanted to try it. Because I was so afraid of the outcome of asking or putting myself out there like that, I just stayed away from her. I can't remember if I wrote a letter. I think I might have written a letter, right? And I just told her something like she was a really awesome person. I really, really like her, and I don't think that we can be friends anymore. It's not you, it's me type letters, right? And I think after she read the letter, she tried to talk to me. I didn't talk. I tried my very best to avoid her. I separated everything. I felt bad because she continued to do really nice things to me, and I just had to be mean, or I just had to ignore her because I knew that if I just continued to accept her doing nice things for me, she wouldn't stop, and I needed her to stop because it only furthered the things that was going on within me. I think that went on, I want to say went on for maybe like 2 weeks maybe. It was so sad because she would ask people to come ask me why we weren't speaking, or she wanted to tell me something, she would have to tell it to somebody else to come and tell me. And it broke my heart, to be honest, because that wasn't really my intention, but I didn't know any other way to deal with what I was going through personally. That's a good thing to know, because sometimes when somebody's treating you a certain way and you couldn't figure out what it was, sometimes it might just be them dealing with something. And it's important to know that it's not always you, it just might be them, and they might just need time to figure out whatever it is. And then one random day, after about 2 weeks had passed, people, like some kids came to meet me and they were like, oh, so-and-so, let's just call her, let me give her a name. So we're gonna call her Susan. We're gonna call her Susan. So they came up to me and they were like, Senior Susan is in the back and she's crying. I'm like, she's crying? So I got up, I geared up real quick. I was like, why is she crying? So I ran to the back and I saw her in the back of the dormitory. I hadn't spoken to her in such a long time, and to just see her crying, I just broke down, and I couldn't keep it up. And I was like, what's going on? What happened? Did somebody hurt you? And she said no, and then she just finally told me that she was dealing with something at home and it just affected her, and I just kind of consoled her. I was trying to go back to team stay away, but she kind of put herself out there in front of me, and she was like, I'm so sorry, whatever I did to you. Susan apologizes like it was her fault. She was like, I'm so sorry, whatever I did to you. I can't believe that, we're not talking and we're not friends, and whatever I need to do to make it right, I will. And I had to explain to her that it wasn't really her, that it was more me, that I had all these things that I wanted to do and I didn't know how to do it, and I'm just so afraid that it would ruin our friendship even, and that's why I wanted to stay away. And she was like, I don't care what it is. And I was really afraid. I was really, really afraid, because you can tell somebody that and they can look at you like just a freak, like ew, what do you mean you wanna? So I just told her, I said, I like girls. I think I like girls. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I think I have some kind of internal feeling, and whatever that feeling is, I really want to explore it. She said, well, what does that mean? Like, I want to kiss you and I want to just experiment further. And she said, you want to do that with me? And I said, well, if you'll let me, I just want to know what it feels like. And she said, okay. She said, if that's what you want, if that's gonna mean that we're gonna be friends, or we can at least still talk, then that's fine. I was shocked. I I didn't think she was gonna do that. So a part of me was super excited because I was like, okay, it's going down. Then a part of me was super nervous because it's going down, because I don't know what I was doing. I don't really know what I was doing. I can't sit here and say that. I planned that it would be a day that it was super, super dark. But I planned that it would be a day where NEPA took light. My Nigeria folks, y'all already know what I'm talking about. There would be a power outage. And then of course a time when everybody was sleeping. At the time, I think I had like a corner unit or something like that. I planned that we would use the corner unit and just put like a piece of cloth, a long piece of cloth around the bunk bed so that nobody would see what we were doing, even if it was dark. So the night came, maybe it was like a week after we'd had to talk about when it was going to happen. I think I remember telling her earlier that day if she was open to the idea tonight. I think that whole week we hadn't had electricity, so I didn't expect the electricity to come back that evening, and of course it didn't. So she said she was okay with it. So we waited till everybody had gone to bed. So we got in there and we sat down in the bunk bed. Asked her if she was ready. She said she was, and I knew that I had to take charge, being that I was the one that was asking for whatever it was, and I felt like I was probably the more masculine one in our relationship. So I leaned in really close, and I told her to close her eyes, and she did. And I just pressed my face against hers and we kissed. It was a really short, simple kiss. And then I remember the kiss feeling super, super soft, because with most guys, when they kiss you, they're really, really rough and aggressive, or they have a beard. And I remember not feeling any beard, and it was different. Everything felt a little bit just softer. I just had these butterflies in my tummy because it's something I always wanted to do, and I actually enjoyed the kiss. It was really good. And she asked me, she said, how do you like it? And I said it was okay. I asked her if she was ready to do more, and she said whatever I wanted to do was fine. So I laid her back on the bed, and I can't believe I'm talking about this, y'all. I remember I laid her back on the bed, and in my mind, I was just trying to emulate what you saw on TV. I remember wanting to go down on her, because I was like, well, the only way I'm gonna know that I'm a real lesbian is if I go down with some girl. I remember working my way down towards the bottom half, and I actually remember I kept asking if she was okay. She would say yes, she's fine. I just didn't want a random scream in the middle of whatever, and then here we are naked or whatever. And I remember getting down to this bottom pelvic area, like the pelvic bone area, and I was nervous. I was like, I don't think that I can do this. I didn't even know what I was doing down there. I just know that from the little bit of blue film that I had watched, I knew that your head was down there, and I knew that you had to like lick it, but I didn't know exactly, I guess, what I was licking. I got down there, and once her bottoms came off, I think I hesitated. I wasn't ready for the different smells, basically. She didn't stink, but there are familiar smells that are womanly, I guess. I just wasn't comfortable with going further with the womanly smells, I guess. Let me not use the word smells. Let me say the womanly sense that was going on down there. That kind of pushed me away, and I stopped right there. I think I might have taken one lick, maybe, just because I didn't want the whole experience to go to waste. And I stopped right there. I was like, I don't think I am ready. That was pretty much my first experience. Everything felt great, to be honest, besides not going down on her. Everything was soft. Everything was perfect. It didn't feel awkward. I didn't feel like I was doing anything. I think back then I felt like I might have done something wrong. Like if somebody found out what I did, it would be like, oh my God, you did something so wrong. But the feeling is, it always feels so right, even though according to society it's so wrong. And that was my first experience. I want to say I could have been about the age of 16-ish. And I didn't get my second first experience with a real lesbian, like a for real first experience. I didn't get that until my actual first girlfriend. And that's a different story for a different time. And from that point on, we became closer. It didn't always happen every night. I think it happened a couple of nights, maybe randomly, you know, I would ask her, or randomly I would touch her and she would be okay with it. So we had an agreement that that's what we were doing. And to be honest, her behavior actually never changed. She never hated me. She didn't stop talking to me. She was actually pretty cool after that. Now that I'm older and I am more comfortable with my lifestyle, I remember there was a time we were talking on the phone. It could have been like 10 years ago, right? And I told her that I had a girlfriend. And she said, "What? You have a girlfriend?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Don't you remember what we did?" She said, "Yeah, but I just thought you were just experimenting. You know, everybody experiments around that age. I didn't think anything seriously of it." And I said, "You didn't think that, you know, I enjoyed it?" Or you? She said, "Well, you had fun, but I didn't know that you were serious." So who knows what she thought was happening. My advice to anybody who is thinking about doing things, most likely you're going to have some kind of a relationship with this person. I think you can't just see a girl, you probably never talk to her, and then expect her to understand where you're coming from. Even though the girl that I was with wasn't gay and didn't end up being gay, she was open to doing those things with me, for me, because she liked me a lot as a person, as a friend, whatever the case may be, she did. So if you're out there, you're thinking there's somebody you're attracted to, just because you're attracted to them doesn't mean that they're attracted to you and things will move forward. You have to be careful, because people can take your advances for something else, especially when they're not thinking about things like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I wasn't being too raunchy, but I had fun making this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.